The rest was single-sex schools. When I finished my high school in Kuwait, I went to America, and my late brother, Salim, God rest his soul, was our ambassador in Washington. And he said, Muhammad, you should retake high school from American high school. And he enrolled me in Georgetown Prep. For you who do not know, Georgetown Prep is a Jesuit high school. It's a Catholic high school, all boys, and I have to wear coat and tie every day. It was a very strict. I moved then to California, to Clermont Men's College, and it's only men's. It wasn't co-ed. Now I understand that it went co-ed and changed the name to Claremont McKenna College, and I don't know what happened to it. But at any rate, it was an interesting choice, and I was proud and privileged to have at least, as Milton Friedman said, the free to choose, and I chose these institutions. At any rate, as the question about maneuvers and tactics and motivations, I'm sorry, Provost Sher, I decided to go to the best university in the world, Harvard. That was motivational enough. But in reality, my true inspiration came from my parents. As always, parents are the true solid rock that students should build their aspiration and future on. My parents were the principal motivators for me, especially my father, God rest his soul, who used to call me since I was 6 years old, Dr. Muhammad. That was my nickname at my house. And he was truly the inspirational force. He instilled in me a keen sense of public duty and a profound love for my country. And at that point, I decided to, and maybe I was telling my kids that maybe the students would like me to talk more about the honor and the duty of public service. And this is where my third child, Du'aj, a classmate of yours, he's a junior at AUK, and he stood up and said, time out, Dad. Those graduates are my friends, and they chose you not because you are Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister, and certainly not because you are a graduate of Salmiya, Rawdat al-Salmiya and Harvard. They chose you because you are my father, and I'm your son. And they told me, and this is important, they told me that tell your dad that we just cannot wait for this ceremony to be over so we can get out and celebrate our freedom. I looked at my fourth child, Sarah, who was sitting on a sofa, and she has a word of her own. And I told her, what do you think? And she said, whatever, but just don't forget Caesar. Now, the story of Caesar is a very interesting story. When Sarah was second grader in the National Cathedral University in Washington, D.C., she was asked to write an essay about Julius Caesar. She wrote 4-sentence essay. And I have to read you this. I still have it. She wrote, Caesar lived long time ago in Rome. Caesar was a great leader. He gave long speeches. They killed him. So I think I got the point, and for that reason I will not dwell on your time, but let me just say a few words to my sons and daughters. You are truly at a historic crossroad of gigantic proportions. You are at the verge of a world unparalleled in human experience. The role of small nations have never assumed such importance in the history of human mankind. To be sure, at the turn of the 20th century, the world was dominated by multipolar empires. Japanese Empire in the east, Russian Ottoman Empire in the middle, Austro-Hungarian, Prussian, French, British empires in the west. In pursuit of their expansion, they devoured every country that come near their orbit and fall into their sphere of influence. The 20th, especially the first half of the 20th century, was a very, very torturous period for small countries. It's too bad that Obi-Wan Kenobi and his Jedis were nowhere to be seen at that time. This gigantic clash of empires produced 2 world wars in the 20th century with enormous consequences on small countries. After the Second World War, the multipolar system collapsed into a bipolar system, and that was the creation of the United States of America versus the Soviet Union. In this bipolar world, small countries have to choose sides to ensure their safety. They have to be either with the Russian bear or with the American eagle. The bipolar system, fortunately, did not last long. With the demise of the Soviet Union, we entered what Richard Haas called the world of unipolarity.